everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Today I am doing a video that comes thanks to a request from someone over on my Discord. You guys, I love taking requests for videos, and you know what? It really does help a booktuber out when you recommend a type of video to them, because seriously, I've been here for over 2 years now and sometimes the inspiration just starts to run a little dry. So if ever you want to recommend a video to me, please do so. Link to my Discord is in the description. Go over there and there's a channel over there saying video recs, and who knows, if you request a video from me, maybe you will get a shout out too. Today's video is brought to you thanks to Cajun Peach, who asked me if I could do a video based on page number book terminology. And I'm so happy that you recommended this, Cajun, because I don't think I ever would have thought of this, and yet I feel like it is definitely something that I should do, because I always talk page count terminology in my monthly wraps as well as my TBRs. Before we get into all of this, I just want to say that if you have subscribed to my channel already, thank you so very, very much. I have a goal to reach 500 subscribers by the time I get to my birthday on the 12th of May, and we are getting there, woot woot! So, it costs nothing to subscribe. If you can help me out, please do. Every subscription goes a long way, and while you're down there, hit the bell, ding, so that you can be notified every single time I upload a new video. Alright, let's get right onto this, because I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's going to be more like a discussion video, so let's do it. First of all, thank you, Cajun. Thank you very much for your request. I'm really excited to get into this and explain it all. If you have seen my TBR videos or my monthly wrap videos, especially my monthly wrap videos right now, you may remember me saying something along the lines of, I've read 5 tomes, 4 half tomes, 6 3/4 tomes, 2 novellas, and 1 pamphlet. And you're probably, like Cajun, wondering, Mr. Francy, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm here to tell you what I'm talking about. So, before I can get into the specifics of what page counts are, I want to ask your permission to allow me to give you a little bit of a backstory as to how all of this came about. So, some of you already know my story and how I eventually ended up on BookTube, but in case you don't, here's a little quick, refreshing version. So in 2020. In January of 2020, it was a hot summer's day. I'm from Australia, so in January, it is incredibly hot over here. I had gone down the rabbit hole searching up things to do with Harry Potter. At the time, things were very different back then. So I was looking around at all different Harry Potter things and enjoying what people had to say about those wonderful movies. Then I came across a particular YouTuber whose name is Murphy, and her channel is Murphy Napier. Murphy was talking about Harry Potter as well, but what set her apart was she was talking about Harry Potter books. I couldn't believe that she was talking about the books, because most people talked about the films. I went back and started watching all of Murphy's videos, and what I realized was what they all had in common was all of her videos talked about books. I couldn't believe, you guys, that I had come across someone on YouTube talking about books. I had never seen this happen. What I ended up finding out was there's such a thing as the subgenre of a YouTuber being a booktuber. I didn't know this was a thing. Once I worked it out, things changed for me, and I decided I had to create my own booktube channel. Along the way, with watching Murphy's videos and doing my own videos, I realized that Murphy was referring to a certain term quite a lot, and that term was the term tome. Tome. This is a tome. That's a tome. This is not a tome. And here's little me, who doesn't really know a lot about book terminology. I love reading, but I don't know a lot about the terminology, honestly. Thinking, okay, so tome means book. So you're saying that's a book and that's not a book. Well, no, my friends. I had a lot to learn. And what I ended up finding through my research is that depending upon how long a book is, it actually fits into its own category of what you call it based purely on its page count. Can you believe it? So, I need to now add into the fact that, that I love adding statistics in my monthly wraps. And with my statistics, as you've probably seen before if you've seen any of my monthly wraps, I am incredibly analytical. I have a lot of stats. I not only talk about the amount of books I read in the month, I talk about how many books in each genre I read. So, for example, 5 fantasy, 3 sci-fi, 2 classics, I also talk about how many books in a certain age range I read. 3 YA, 5 adult, 7 middle grade. And I also do my star ratings as well. But on top of that, I do talk about the page count category of those books. Like I was saying, I might say I've read 5 tomes, 3 half tomes, 2 3/4 tomes, 1 novella and 1 pamphlet. So I am so excited. So excited, as you can see. This is unrehearsed because I'm just so over the moon that I get to talk to you guys about this because I don't see this on booktube. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that's not on booktube. Not at all. In fact, if anything, I'm happy that I'm the one that's doing this and I'm the one that's putting those stats out there. In saying that, if you want to start adding it to your videos, go right ahead. I don't own the rights and I would love to see you do it. But I'm so happy to explain this to you guys. So thank you so much, Cajun. Let's get right on into this. The first thing that I need to teach you guys when it comes to page count terminology with a book is the first thing that I learned, which is what a tome is. So, once again, a tome is a name given to a book that has a certain number of pages. Now, the obvious question is, well, how many pages is that, Mr. Francy? And the answer is 500. If a book has 500 pages or more, it is a tome. The reason why I'm starting here is because that is the starting point. You can, generally speaking, go above and below that and work out that terminology quite easily. If a tome is 500 pages or more, then it stands to reason that a double tome is twice the amount of a tome, which would make a double tome 1,000 pages, and a triple tome 1,500 pages. Now, while I have not come across a book that is 1,500 pages as yet, I certainly have come across a book that gets close to it. I've come across 1,300 pages in a book. Mr. Brando Sando, shout out to you. But then we can go the other way as well. We can talk about 3/4 tomes, half tomes, and then we get into a bit of tricky territory with novellas and pamphlets. So, let's discuss 3/4 tomes. Now, I had to write this down. What you don't see behind the scenes with Mr. Francy is that I have a Word document, and that's what I put up on the screen when I do my monthly stats for you each and every month. This Word document template has been with me for the majority of the time I've been on booktube. I don't remember when I started doing stats, but I would say it was at the very least a year and a half ago, if not longer, and that template has always remained the same. I just refresh it every month. So I had to go back and specifically look, and I always do. You guys, I don't know these terms off the top of my head. If someone were to sit me down without my Word document template and say to me, Mr. Francy, is that a 3/4 tome or a half tome? I would say, give me a second, just let me look up my document. So I did that, I've written it down, so now I can tell you. So if a tome is 500 pages or more, so it's 500 pages plus, 499 doesn't cut it, but 501 is a tome. So it's 500 pages plus. We can get even more specific with 3/4 tomes. In my view, a 3/4 tome is a book that is between 375 pages and 499 pages. If your book's page count, total page count, comes between those two numbers, you have a 3/4 tome on your hands. How about a half tome? A half tome, according to my template, is between 250 and 375 pages. So if you're reading a book that falls in that page count range right now, you're reading a half tome. But now let's get on to, I think, one of the biggest reasons why Cajun was asking me this question, which revolves around the term pamphlet. We need to talk also about novellas because they do work side by side. I used to think that they were interchangeable terms. I used to refer to a novella as a pamphlet. But as time has gone on, I've done more research. I love the book industry. I love it so much. I love researching terminology and things to do with books and expectations and so on and so forth. So I researched this to find out the difference between a novella and a pamphlet. And I'm going to tell you what the research tells me that a pamphlet is, and then I'm going to tell you what I consider a pamphlet to be because I don't necessarily agree. So, okay. From what I researched, a pamphlet needs to be more than 5 pages and less than 48 pages. I don't agree with that because I don't think that that's enough of a range when your next step up is a novella, which to me is considerably longer. So I don't think that I would call a novella a book that is between 49 pages as a minimum and another number. So that doesn't work for me. So in my mind, and this is in my mind only, a novella is a book that ranges between 101 and 249 pages. If you are reading a book that's between 101 and 249 pages, you have a novella on your hands. If you're reading a cozy mystery, more than likely you're either reading a half tome or a novella. That was my experience in February, so more than likely that's what you are reading. But a pamphlet, in my mind, rather than going with like with a tome and saying 500 pages plus, or going with any of the others that I've spoken to you about that are less than a tome where I'm saying it's between this and this, a pamphlet is the opposite of a tome. It is a certain number or less. And so a pamphlet in my mind is 100 pages or less. So if you are reading a book that is 99 pages long, I view that as a pamphlet. And that's what I'm going to put it as in my stats. If it's less than 100 pages, it's a pamphlet. So let's go through that again. 100 pages or less is a pamphlet. 101 pages to 249 pages is a novella. 250 pages to 375 pages is a half tome. 375 pages to 499 pages is a 3/4 tome. 500 pages plus is a tome. 1,000 pages plus is a double tome, and 1,500 pages plus is a triple tome. Now, if you come across a book that is over 1,500 pages at first, please tell me, because I want to see this book. But if it is over 1,500 pages plus, just continue to go up in the 500 page count in increments. So if it is 2,000 pages, then I would say that's a quadruple tome, and so on and so forth. But usually books are not that amount, and if a book is 3,000 pages long, then oh my goodness, go you if you get through reading that book. And I would just probably call it a masterpiece, honestly, because that's insane. I mean, a lot of people look at me when I say a 500-page book is what I'm reading, going, oh my gosh, you're reading a 500-page book. And then there are other people who look at me when I say I'm reading a 1,200-page book, like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. But fantasies, especially high fantasies, especially with Brandon Sanderson, can be incredibly long. And so that kind of does explain that. But if you do have any other comments, thoughts, and or questions regarding page count terminology, please do not hesitate to let me know. You have 2 ways to do so. You can either comment in the space below, or come on over and join my Discord, link in the description below, and you can leave a comment over there and ask me over there. I'm more than happy to go into further detail, but I think what I've said so far for the video is satisfactory. So, yeah, satisfactory. But I am open to any and all questions you have to further develop your knowledge when it comes to page count terminology. But in the meantime, I do believe that's more than enough to be getting along with. Once again, thank you, Cajun, so much for requesting this video. I was so happy to do it, as I'm sure you have seen. If you guys have any other comments, thoughts, and or questions, please do not hesitate to let me know in the comments below. If you would like to request a video for me to do here at Mr. Francy Reads, please join us over over on the Discord and let me know in the appropriate channel over there. That is where I am going to leave it. Letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Be kind, love one another, and spread that positive sparkling energy all round the universe. Until I see you next time, happy reading!